Revenge of the Nerds.
Oh my God, I didn't even think of that. That's funny.
So this movie is everything that's wrong with 80s sex comedies wrapped into one movie. This includes bullying, negative in depictions of nerds, um, child endangerment, and rape.
Wow.
Portrayed in a positive light.
Damn. I should have thought of this.
Uh, so there's one scene I want to point a light at in particular. It involves one of the nerds inside Funhouse, um, disguised as one of the jocks, and he fools one of the popular girls into thinking that it was sorry, excuse me, into thinking that he was one of the jocks, and she sleeps with him. And then midway through, she finds out that she was sleeping with a nerd, and that she was essentially sleeping with a nerd unconsentfully with someone she didn't know, which I think is pretty much considered rape. I think the circumstances around that scene, but it's all okay because it just so happened to be the best sex she ever had. So all's well that ends well, right?
Yeah, no.
Probably not.
This is just
Can I be honest with you both?
yes.
But
I remember clear as day. I wanted to bring this up for a sec. There was a question at one point asked on, and this show no longer exists on YouTube, but it's called AMC or Collider Movie Talk.
Yes.
yeah,
Someone once emailed in and said, "Hey, could we ever see a Revenge of the Nerds reboot at some
there
point?"
actually was one planned in 2007.
Okay, but here's the thing, though. There's a problem with that too.
Go
The
on.
nerd, the nerds, back in the day, like most people would find like, hey, you're a nerd. Well, most nerds nowadays are multi-billionaires and they're gonna be rich and famous because they invented something super smart. So like the whole jock aspect wouldn't work. Now the jocks are the jerks.
Well, because it's like that famous quote from Bill Gates. Be nice to the nerd. You may be working for them one day.
It, it's true.
Because you know what? And this is going on my soapbox about something completely
I mean, look
different.
at look at Mark Zuckerberg. Look at who's you know, yeah.
We look at that like when we're in like high school, college, we idolize the star football player, the star basketball player.
Mhm.
But we know one day, and like, listen, some of them may make it to play college ball. Some of them may make it to the pros. That's a very small amount, but or some of them may continue to have a good life. But there are those people, the kind, who just want to sit around and relive their glory days. While the nerds who you shoved in lockers and gave swirlies to are now multi-billionaires.
Yeah.
So, like that quote from Bill Gates said, be nice to the nerds. One day you may be working for one of them.
I mean, Steve Jobs, Bill Gates, you want to go down the list of how many nerds there were and how much money they've made now in their companies? Forget it. So, the truth.
And because you know why I also don't think a Revenge of the Nerds reboot would work? Because nerd, what we called nerd in geek culture, like Star Wars, Star Trek, and heck, even comic books like Marvel and DC, is mostly mainstream stuff now.
Yeah. Super movies are like the norm.
Most of that stuff, which used to be called like nerd culture or geek culture, is now mainstream.
Yeah, and now like there's even like I can't believe I'm saying this, but there are very attractive girls at Comic-Con who are legitimately interested in the subject matter too. I mean, let's be real. So there's cosplay contests of like all these anime and all these like nerdy characters. So let's it's seeped into mainstream culture now all the time.
But you know what would have been a good Revenge of the Nerds like reboot
What?
or a sequel way to the future where the guys who bully them are now working for them.
That's a good idea. So someone take note of that, please.
But again, like what you have said, what Justin said, like when they're like peeping into the girls' locker room or something, that's not right. Like we really should not be showing this. We really should not be showing this.